You're listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
Thanks to Concordia University, Wisconsin for supporting The Coffee Hour. Find out more about Concordia University, Wisconsin at cuw.edu.
Live uncommon.
We have an update with our friends at Lutheran Senior Services. Two really new exciting things happening at LSS here in St. Louis. Joining us today, we have Emily Seitz, Director of Community Wellness at LSS Laclede Groves, right here in Webster Groves. Emily, welcome to The Coffee Hour.
Thank you, Andy and Sarah, for having us today. We're really excited to share with you about some things we're very passionate about within Lutheran Senior Services.
Now, I understand music is something that's important to the community at LSS, particularly at the Laclede Groves community. How does music play a role in the lives of the residents and particularly wellness for the residents at Laclede Groves?
Absolutely. Music plays a huge role. Our mission within Lutheran Senior Services is older adults living life to the fullest. And we're very passionate about the fact that music is one of those things that help us live to the full and receive a lot of fulfillment in our lives. And so wellness at Lutheran Senior Services really focuses on the whole person, and music is integral in addressing the whole person here at Laclede Groves. It's really considered the universal language. It promotes social connection. It makes you move, so it really boosts that physical wellness side of things. It's expressive and emotional and focuses on promoting positive mental health, and it's very spiritual. So at Laclede Groves, particularly, we have our new Harmony Garden, we have an independent living choir, we have music therapy groups across all levels of living, music volunteers, and much more.
All right, so a Harmony Garden. I need to know what this is. This sounds very exciting. What is a Harmony Garden?
It sounds very exciting. Yes, and it is. It is our new outdoor music sensory space that utilizes outdoor music instruments. Yes.
So what can be found in the Harmony Garden at Laclede Groves?
Absolutely. So our Harmony Garden at Laclede Groves is located in our chapel courtyard, which is really the heart of our community. It's central to all levels of living within our community. And so featured there are our harmony flowers, our rainbow chimes, and our pentatonic posts, which are all these very vibrant and colorful outdoor instruments that are wheelchair accessible. So they're really accessible to all ages and abilities. These are instruments that can be played whether you're standing or seated or you're a child coming up to check them out and see how they sound. It's really inviting in the space that we have them in and really helps bring our community together. And what's really wonderful about them is there's no wrong way to play them, which takes any intimidation out of it. There's no music experience required to enter the Harmony Garden and give it a try. There's just these beautiful chimes that you can use a mallet on and just hear this beautiful sound resonating.
Where did this idea come from? This sounds like a really great opportunity for the residents there and something I kind of wish was in all of my community parks so I could just go play music in gardens. But where did this idea come from?
Yes, it's really an awesome opportunity that should everywhere, in my opinion. I have a background in music therapy, and so I'm well aware of how beneficial and impactful music is for both the individual and for the community. So we really wanted to create a space that really promoted that. And our purpose statement is centered in Christ. We're creating places, services, and opportunities for people to age well with purpose and fulfillment. So we really wanted a spot that we could have this sensory opportunity for all levels of living throughout our community, and also the opportunity to connect with nature. And so I've done a little bit of research and found these instruments through Percussion Play, which is based out of the UK. And I proposed the idea to our auxiliary at Laclede Groves, and they decided to support this project as part of their annual project fund. And so after that, it was really championed by our residents. Once I introduced it to them, it was really their generosity and their donations that made it possible. So they really love to give back to their community and all of those that are also within their community.
I see a field trip in Sarah's future.
Yes. Yes.
Please come and check it out.
Now, you mentioned that this is in the chapel garden, or this is in the space adjacent to the chapel. Who can enjoy the Harmony Garden at LSS?
So really, it's available to all within our community. Of course, absolutely utilized by our residents. You see sometimes they're passing through. Again, it's very central. It's the heart of our community. So people are passing through there all the time, just kind of taking a moment to stop and see what the instruments are all about, or having a moment of quiet and kind of meditation along with the music that they have there for them. I see often utilized by residents along with their family members. And this, you see generations coming together within our community. They're bringing their children, their grandchildren, and their great-grandchildren to this space and exploring music and having these musical conversations together and playing on these instruments. So the families come with the residents. Even our staff are utilizing these spaces maybe on their break and having a moment of quiet out of a busy day and kind of having that sensory opportunity as well. I spoke of music therapy. We have a staffed music therapist who provides groups and one-on-one services out there. We do sing-alongs, and it's really encouraging because there's no wrong way to play. You can kind of have that person who has no background with music feel comfortable in this space, and that was really important to us. And one of the other things that I think is really important to highlight is how important it is as an intergenerational opportunity. So we have a couple partnerships. We have a daycare, not affiliated, but on our campus. And we have some connections with local Lutheran schools. And they work as pen pals with some of our independent living residents. But we schedule now times for them to come over and use this space together. So they've been communicating, maybe through writing, but now come together in a space. And I don't have the words to describe just the amount of joy that you see and hear as you're walking through the space, and you have our seniors and children joining together in this space, and our staff joining with them as well. The laughter and the sound that fills and resonates in the air is just almost so overwhelming, just how beautiful it is. And it has been especially beneficial even for our residents living with dementia and seeing kind of them come alive a bit and having a way to express themselves when maybe they might have the words otherwise. It is really helping them to have those musical conversations and that self-expression and letting kind of each individual shine in the space even as they work together.
Sounds like a great way to connect residents with the community. You shared some great examples of that. And there are also other ways. There's a very organized way to connect with the community, and that is through Senior Connections Plus. Diane Sinclair is the Director of Volunteer and Community Engagement with Lutheran Senior Services, joining us today. Diane, welcome to the Coffee Hour.
Thank you so much for letting me come and speak about Senior Connections Plus. We really appreciate this opportunity. So our feeling is that volunteers embody our mission, which is older adults living life to the fullest. And particularly when, as Emily mentioned, when you see the intergenerational connections that are made, and that's possible with Senior Connections Plus as well. This is a new program for us, and we're very excited to be sharing information about this and hoping that this will resonate with some of your listeners. We provide companionship and assistance with light housekeeping tasks and assistance with technology for our older adults who are living in affordable housing communities. So they will come and visit with the resident. They are matched one-on-one, so they have their own companion, and they develop a relationship by these visits. And they're able to assist with things that may be challenging for the resident. In so doing, they're providing a way for this resident to remain independent, to be able to continue living in this affordable housing community. So, for example, we had one resident who said that it took her 3 days to change her bed linens because she has COPD and she could only do a little bit at a time before it would wear her out. So she now has a volunteer who comes in and helps her with her laundry, helps her with vacuuming and other projects around her apartment that she would like to see, need the assistance in seeing that these things are completed. We all know that there is a problem with isolation with older adults, maybe with all of us feeling isolated, particularly after COVID. And by providing this companionship, we're also providing a way for these residents to relate to another person, to have that experience of sharing their stories and sharing their information about their families and all of that. And that connection is a new friend and someone that they look forward to seeing on a regular basis. We had a couple of examples of some of the activities that are being done. We had one of the volunteers said that she one day helped her resident clean the litter pans and clean her bathroom, and actually wanted to throw out one of the litter pans, so she helped her with that. And that can be quite a chore, so she mopped the bathroom floor and helped her. The next week, they went shopping at Kohl's. And after shopping at Kohl's, they went over to the pet store, and as the volunteer said, they bought a pretty little goldfish for the resident. So they are doing all kinds of wonderful things and meeting the resident where they live and where they would really truly appreciate the help. She said that the next meeting they were going to get together, they've already discussed, they're going to go through some technology assistance. So helping her with her new iPhone and helping her with using the iPads that we have in our affordable housing communities. So we were awarded a grant through Community Care Corps, and this is a federal grant, and it has allowed us to provide some special features. So we're able to provide assistance with gas. So we provide gift cards for gas or Metro passes to the volunteers. So we all know how high gas prices are these days, and any little bit of assistance is welcome. So we're able to provide some extra, fun things for the resident and for the volunteers through this grant.
So this sounds like an amazing way for people to give back and to be involved in the lives of these residents and to really build those relationships, which you talked about how important these relationships are for the residents to give them a companion to help them just do some things in their lives. That is wonderful. Who is eligible to be a volunteer, and how can somebody sign up, learn more, do those types of things?
Anyone who is 18 years and older can apply to be a Senior Connections Plus volunteer. We have a very comprehensive training. It's a 2.5, 3-hour training that we provide. And then we also provide a lot of support throughout. So we have service coordinators at the affordable housing communities who check in with the volunteers, and we're able to monitor with our volunteer database how things are going and looking at the responses and seeing all of that. So we're able to provide that support as well. We do ask for volunteers, since this is developing a relationship with the resident, that they commit to volunteering at least twice a month for 2 hours. I have to say a lot of our volunteers are going every week, and just because they're enjoying it so much, and so are the residents, which is wonderful. But we're asking for at least 2 hours a week and for at least a 3-month commitment to the program.
Very good. How do we find out more?
So you could call me at 314-820-0900, and I would be happy to talk with you about the program. You could also visit our website, lssliving.org, volunteer, and you can apply through that website as well.
Thank you so much for the information. Thanks for the opportunity. I am just delighted to hear about both the Harmony Garden and the Senior Connections Plus opportunity at LSS. Thank you. Our guest today, Diane Sinclair, Director of Volunteer and Community Engagement with Lutheran Senior Services. Diane, thanks for being our guest.
Thank you for allowing us to come and talk with you about this opportunity. We appreciate it.
And Emily Sites, Director of Community Wellness at LSS Laclede Groves. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
You've been listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
At Concordia University, Wisconsin, we believe you were created for a reason: to use your God-given gifts to help others, to live a life of self-sacrifice in a me-first world, to live a life that's uncommon. Whether you're taking one of 50-plus online programs or learning with us in person on the shores of Lake Michigan, you'll be equipped to make an uncommon impact. Learn more at cuw.edu. Concordia University, Wisconsin. Live uncommon.